coming to the first one right now. Kay with another good start. He can pick whatever lane he wants now. Poliski boxed in behind Michael Dean. Looking for some room on the top side. They're going to be battling side by side for second as John Kay trying to set sail. Open, praying that there is not going to be another caution before he can get back to the line.
Poliski still trying to fight around Michael Dean. He has him clear this time.
Back to the line. White flag is out. One more time around.
Steve Roman got put in the wall off of turn 4, but I think he stayed there.
Dean trying to hang on to a podium spot. Poliski desperately trying to find anything he can to get up to John Kay. Big crash down the back straightaway. As up front, it's going to be win number 2 on the season for driver number 2. John Kay wins it at New Hampshire. It's Michael Dean at the line for third, and Andy Poliski will finish on the middle step here tonight. Has problems there on the final lap for a number of people, but specifically Steve Roman.
Roman got put in the wall coming to the white flag, and then on the backstretch on the last lap got turned to the inside wall.
John Kay gonna burn it down.
Gonna wait for a couple of teammates to arrive, get a little picture here with the whole team before we do some burnouts.
Every representative of the Alabama gang and the Super Kick Revival Racing Team doing some burnouts as the South has risen to the occasion here tonight in New Hampshire.
A blind night that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. We have in dominant fashion. Started third in that race, led 82 laps up front, beat out Ryan Dye by a little under a second to lock that one down. Andy Poliski finished in third. John Kay and Jeremy McKinnon were your top 5. John Kay led 50 laps in that race as well. So Kay could be a contender here tonight. Chad Stearns also would be a contender if he was in the field here tonight. So there's that. But I think the big takeaways here, first of all, this race tonight, 10 laps shorter. 190 laps is the schedule distance for tonight. 7 leaders, 7 lead changes, 9 cautions, to your point earlier about maybe getting some more green flag running in here. So the lead complexion is a little bit different than it was in Season 4, but, I mean, it's short track racing. That's I think cautions are to be expected here tonight. But it's Richmond. What else are we going to expect here tonight?
Well, I tell you one thing, and for me as a driver that creeps up on me, that wall out of turn number 2 sneaks up on you like a son of a gun. If you think you're getting a good drive off the corner, it seems like that outside wall just jumps out right at you as you're trying to make your way out of turn number 2. So for me, when I come to Richmond, that's one of my keys of the race, is to stay out of that gosh darn wall. But other than that, you feel like you can carry a lot of speed into these corners. I think the thing that happens is you can burn your tires off really quickly because you feel like you have a lot of speed, and you do have a lot of speed. You can carry a lot of momentum, but you can burn your tires off, I think, pretty quickly here too. So you have to be kind of mindful of how you're running this thing. I think we'll see a lot of people on the bottom early, and I think we'll kind of migrate towards the top as these runs go on.
Absolutely. I think that's all fair play. I'd say of tracks, one of the corner transitions that sneaks up on you the most, I think of Nashville Superspeedway, I think of Rockingham, and I think of Richmond as well. That's a fair top 3 from my vantage point anyway. We got a couple of seconds here before we are getting to our race grid. I want to say hello to everybody that is watching us already. Rebecca Mrs. Woda says, let's go, Woda. And Flinky says, oh, wait, it's Tuesday. Oh, no. Let me see if the 68 is in the field.
Tuesday, isn't it?
Oh, it's Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, and I don't see the 68 with us here, unfortunately. So no Flinky here tonight, unfortunately.
No.
But we do have a field of 29 drivers here getting ready to get after it in the Bing Bong 190 at virtual Richmond Raceway for the 9th round of the 6th season of the Venom Truck Series. And believe it or not, it is career pole position number 1. First career pole for your all-star race winner, Ryan Dye, who finished runner-up here in Season 4. Andy Poliski, the current points leader by 1 point heading into the night, will start on the outside of that front row. 2-time series champion Nathan Reynolds, 1 point behind Poliski, will start in the 3rd position. Leading rookie contender, 4th in the points, Nathan Paluota will start on the outside of the 2nd row. Carrying a car inside camera here tonight, Eric Breeding will start on the inside of row number 3 with Garrett Rainey to his outside. Will Salmoni, podium finisher from the All-Star race last week, will start in the 7th position. John Kay, winner at New Hampshire, 2 times a winner here this season, and led quite a few laps here in Season 4. He will start in 8th. Rodney Matney, longest active top 10 streak in points-paying races coming into tonight. He's got 5 in a row, and he starts in the 9th position. Jan Van Leer, stringing together some good finishes of late, will start in the 10th position, round out your top 10 starters for Richmond here tonight. TJ Bartell and Brantley Gainey on row number 6. Michael Krall, Kevin Sargent on row 7. Great to see Michael Krall back in the field here tonight. Pascal Samar and Michael Dean on row number 8. Luke Peterson and Paul Ellison, teammates there on row number 9. And row number 10 is Jeremy Carter on the inside. Steve Roman back there in 20th on the outside of the 10th row. Cole Maxwell, Corey Rutherford on row number 11. Oz Kanar, Ethan Patterson on row 12. Kyle Dimmick, Kyle Zittel on row 13. Joshua Connell, Tyler Bergert, and Gary Clark, your 29 competitors here tonight for the Bing Bong 190 at Richmond Raceway. All right, Matt, track conditions and some lay of the land. What do we got?
Track conditions, obviously you can tell that we're starting in the nighttime. I think we're going to get to kind of a sunrise sort of race here before this thing is over. So 79 degrees on the track temperature at the moment. It's going to be a one-stopper. Fuel windows 115 to 120, although a couple of drivers may choose to come in more for a tire pit stop rather than a fuel window pit stop. 3 extra sets of tires. 0 fast repairs again. I know we had one for the All-Star race, but we are back to regular season rules. 0 fast repairs here tonight.
And that is much to the dismay of many of these drivers, I am sure. Ryan Dye, I can't believe, first career pole. And I went and looked on the all-time stat sheet, and I do believe that... Oh, you know what? That isn't correct. It's his 11th career pole, so I missed a number there. So I was going to say, that did not seem right, and you know what? It wasn't. So Ryan Dye leading the field of green here. Andy Poliski will be starting to his outside. 190 laps of Richmond. We are underway. A couple of drivers electing to start from the pits. Pretty good start here. Pretty clean start, rather, throughout the field. Poliski trying to fend off Nathan Reynolds for second.
Further back behind them, thought about 3 wide for a moment. Here comes the 26 of Eric Breeding on the inside of Garrett Rainey. This is for the 5th spot to get to the top 5.
Breeding will fall victim to John Kay here as Cole Maxwell is just hitting the pits. He actually started from the pits, so I wonder if he picked up a pit exit penalty of some kind.
Now Breeding will move to the top. Here comes Salamone on the bottom.
Woo! All sorts out of shape there.
Andy Poliski just put in the fastest time of the race so far.
And trying to track down Ryan Dye, who's coming off of the All-Star race win at iRacing Super Speedway last week. Told us, you know, that he wasn't really happy with how his season is going so far. Not in the top 10 in points, but a big confidence boost last week. And leading the way here, even if he'll give up the lead to Andy Poliski, it's already a much better start to his night than we've seen in the past year, the past few races anyway.
Certainly is, and somebody else that we thought might have been starting a lot farther back in the field was Nathan Reynolds. He actually had a spin the first lap of his qualifying run, but he was able to put in a very good time on the second, even with a momentum deficit, and he ended up starting 3rd, but it was looking a little bleak there for a moment.
It certainly was. It would have been a start outside of the top 25 if he wasn't able to clock that lap. As we got a couple of cars, or a couple of trucks rather, that are going slow here. Gary Clark will pull to the inside of the track and let the leaders pass. Ryan Dye continuing to lead here from the pole on lap number 7. Poliski closing the gap little by little here. Nathan Reynolds in 3rd, Nathan Palawota, and John Kay, your top 5. Kay up 3 spots already.
Well, Kay has proven himself to be a force to be reckoned with at short tracks, and he's wasted no time to get into the top 5 here tonight.
Must have missed something somewhere through the field. We saw Gary Clark going slow a little bit ago. Joshua Caudill also picked up a meatball flag somewhere.
Poliski, we're starting to see some lane changes here, some line changes, I should say. Poliski's opting to stay towards the top on entry, then diamond the corner to try to get a big run off the exits, and that's exactly what he's doing.
We saw these two battling quite a bit last season at Indianapolis Raceway Park, where Poliski led the bulk of the laps through that race, but Ryan Dye walked away with the W. And Nathan Reynolds was in the mix there as well. Poliski running out to in here, trying to make up any amount of ground that he can on Ryan Dye.
Well, if Poliski gets held up too much here, he's going to have Nathan Reynolds, Palawota, and John Kay right on his bumper.
Yeah, we saw Poliski running basically whatever line that he wanted to run at New Hampshire. I mean, at times he was almost into the inside wall through the turns. That's how down low he was running there. But he made it work. He got him the podium. And much of the same here already.
Yeah, won't be able to get underneath the yellow line here.
No.
There's too much banking in the corners, but same rules apply. You see him. He's all over the racetrack here.
And as long as you can manage your tires doing that, I mean, it's worth a shot. I'm sure Ryan Dye is probably a little confused as to what is happening. So it's got the mental game in check, but he's got to keep himself out of the wall. Here goes Reynolds now to the inside.
Well, as the tire wear goes on, you're going to see more of that from more of the drivers, but usually not this early on. Reynolds was not able to clear, and Poliski's done a great job of fighting back on the outside.
I mean, Poliski's got plenty of speed. He's just had those couple of bobbles where he's gotten up too close to the wall and had to roll out of it. So he can fight back here, but this is going to wear his stuff down a little bit more. Reynolds staying tried and true here, right to the yellow line in the bottom of the turns. Now Paluota and John Kay are pulling up into this, and Ryan Dye is setting sail. Side by side for second, side by side for fourth. Reynolds on the bottom, Poliski on the top side, Paluota underneath of John Kay. Garrett Rainey in no man's land out in sixth.
Clear.
And Reynolds, a little loose, looking to make something happen. It's not happening yet.
And this is exactly what Ryan Dye wants to see. Poliski was really kind of reeling Dye in, and now the battle between the 32 and the 38 has given Dye a little breathing room. And I have to think that really working the inside, Reynolds, the tire wear has to be suffering a bit. He finally pulls in behind the 32, not able to get it done. John Kay has gotten around Paluota.
I don't think either of the two of them have benefited from this battle for second, but I'll tell you who has is John Kay. Kay past Paluota, sets his sights now on second and third, and Ryan Dye is actually backing back up to this battle. It's inside of 0.6 of a second now. It was up to 0.8. So Poliski free and clear of Reynolds, back on the charge here.
And Reynolds, of course, he is the car inside driver to watch here tonight, as he always is. We'll go ahead and go car inside with him right now, as he still is trying to work on Andy Poliski, but maybe trying to take it a little easy, get those tires cooled off just a bit to make another run, but he can't take it too easy. He has John Kay right behind him.
It's the second Venom points race in a row that has coincided with the actual NASCAR track of the weekend. Nathan Reynolds has a C-Fix qualifying breakdown. It's in the description for Richmond. Go check it out if you want to know how to get around Richmond like Nathan Reynolds. We thank him for providing the car inside with car inside camera all season long. Running in third. Watching Poliski going hither and thither across the track, just every which way.
Oh, there was a big wheel movement there from Reynolds coming out of that corner. The back end of this truck just wants to step out on you real hard sometimes.
And again, 0.6 of a second. Ryan Dye not pulling away. Maybe that's on purpose. Maybe it's not. Top 10 right now is Dye, Poliski, Reynolds, Kay, Paluota, Rainey, Breeding, Jan Van Leer, Matney, and Salamone. As lap number 23 already going up on the board. Clean and green so far.
Well, one of our other car inside drivers to watch here tonight is Eric Breeding. I think it's the first time we've gotten him on one of the cameras for car inside, and he told me before the race that he doesn't really feel that great about Richmond, but he qualified 5th. He's fallen a couple spots here, but still really working it good behind Rainey in 7th.
Oh, Dye gets piled into by Andy Poliski. Oh, boy. They keep going straight. An apology from Poliski, but man, that was a shot. And now Reynolds is here. I mean, everybody's here now.
I was going to say, not just Reynolds. That entire pack of 5 is right here together.
Man, short track racing be damned. This is borderline super speedway. Literal bump drafting between Poliski and Dye. Here's Reynolds, clear on Poliski. Just like that, they are tied for the points lead now.
And here goes John Kay underneath of the 32.
I think maybe all those moves starting to catch up with Andy Poliski a little bit. Either that or the inside is rolling a lot cleaner right now. Reynolds, oh boy, Kay is clear, but not by much. Here goes Reynolds down to the inside of Dye for the race lead. Alabama gang looking to move to the top 2 steps on the podium. Reynolds had him at the line, not clear just yet, but it may be out of turn number 2, and it is. Reynolds to the point. Reynolds and Dye, teammates last season, not this season. Raced, spent a lot of time together on track. And they are both of them 2-time series champions. The other series champion, Andy Poliski, riding in 4th now after John Kay has moved himself up into the bronze medal spot. Things calming down here for now.
Yeah, for now, for sure. Got a few people here in the chat. Jeremy McKinnon's hopped in, saying good luck to all the drivers out here tonight, especially Andy and Steve on the old Broke Guy Racing team. Mac Farm Family Adventures cheering on Brantley Gainey as well as Caitlin McLaughlin. And speaking of Brantley Gainey, he is another one of our Car Inside drivers here tonight. So shout out to all our guys that are willing to do this. I know you don't always want to be shown on camera, but it's kind of cool for the viewers to get to see exactly what your setup is and what you got going on. We see some people use VR headsets, some people don't. We got triple monitors with Nathan Reynolds, so a lot of different ways to get it done here, but all of them can certainly get it done well.
And with all this great racing at the front of the pack, we've certainly missed a lot in the middle and the back of the pack. Brantley Gainey started in the 12th position, and I didn't jinx him this time, but right now he's going the wrong direction, back to 20th. So that's unfortunate for him. Steve Roman up 3 spots from where he started, from 20th up to 17th. And Kyle Zittel right now, I think, is the hard charger in the field. He is up 11 spots already, up to 15th. As here goes Palawoda to the inside of Poliski to try and move himself up to 4th.
And I think it looked like he might have been clear for a moment, but won't be able to get it done.
Poliski able to get the power down there on the outside and reassert himself, at least get a nose out in front here. But Poliski again flirting with the wall. That is some razor-thin margins there. Like he's running a restaurant on the top line.
Well, when you start getting those tires up in that very, very top groove, the truck really doesn't want to turn any longer. At least that's what my experience is. You really have to back it off to try to get some rotation out of the truck. Otherwise, you're going to go straight into the wall. But once you can get back going, you do have a lot of momentum advantage off the top.
Ryan Dye has fallen to outside of half a second behind Nathan Reynolds. So the 38 trying to pull away here. John Kay, about the same distance between he and Ryan Dye.
One might say equidistant.
One might say that. Thank you. I teed that one up for you. Hit it right down the fairway. Congratulations.
That doesn't happen every day.
No, it doesn't happen for me at all.
Pretty good little battle here just outside the top 5. Rainey's in 6th. He has Matney all over the back of him. And then Breeding, who we mentioned, Matney's gotten around Breeding, so Breeding back to 8th. But he is right here behind the battle. looking to pounce if a mistake is made.
Ooh, TJ Bartell a little bit loose at the back end of this battle here as well. He has Michael Krall closing up on him, which is awesome to see Michael Krall back in the field here tonight on a part-time schedule this season. But rocking and rolling right now, up 2 spots and looking for one more to get himself into the top 10. Meanwhile, here goes Matney underneath of Rainey to try and get up to 6. Not going to happen just yet. Eric Breeding thought about maybe making the move to the outside of Matney, but it doesn't happen just yet. Now he's going to go to the inside.
Didn't quite have the run. Will think better of it, but here comes TJ Bartell diving into the corner. Oh, Rainey really loose.
Wow.
I didn't see if there was contact or not.
I missed it too.
Might be able to take a look at a replay. We'll let the dust settle here first.
I don't know if the dust is ever going to settle here in this battle. They're going to keep going at it. Bartell just squeezes past Eric Breeding there. Jan Van Leer looking to get past as well, and will. Ooh.
Man, Breeding was hanging on really good here for a second, and then all of a sudden, he kind of got put in a bad spot with that battle in front of him, and he paid the price, gets passed by a couple more. He's now in the 10th position.
Bartell looking to sneak underneath of Garrett Rainey now.
Bartell seems like he saved some tire here in the early goings of this run, and now starting to put it together.
It seems like at most tracks this season, Bartell has been so good on the long haul. Now Bartell going to try and reel in his new teammate, Rodney Matney. Last 5 finishes for this 83 truck. 10th, 9th, 3rd, 2nd, and 9th. Longest top 10 streak in the field heading into tonight for that 83 of Rodney Matney.
He certainly put together a lot of good finishes. Let's see how he got around Garrett Rainey here. Rainey's on the inside, Matney on the outside. This must have been after the incident. So let's go ahead and back it up here a little bit. Why not?
Back up, back up. Wrong meme, sorry.
Oh, yeah, and Rainey just really loose off the corner there. He just, either that or he just elects to go to the inside, but makes a really hard maneuver to get down there. But, yeah, definitely zero contact for sure.
So Reynolds and Dye got a little bit close together, navigating some lap traffic, but they have since spread back out. So we are still rocking and rolling here. Coming to lap number 47. Remind our viewers again who maybe didn't catch the pre-race, what is the fuel window looking like here tonight?
Yeah, well, the fuel window, it's about 115 laps. I wasn't sure. I want to say that we will probably have some drivers that might try to get on a bit of a different strategy. We see that pretty often here in the Venom Truck Series. I would think that if you're going to do that, the goal would just to be break it up into thirds, and this is where we're going to have to do math, which we know how good we are at that. But that would put you at about 63, 64 laps in if you wanted to break this thing into thirds rather than a one-stopper. So if you want to do two-stopper, break it in half or break it in thirds evenly, about lap 63 or 64. If you're going to try to push it all the way, obviously you're going to go to about lap 95 before you come into pit. That is a long ways to go on a set of tires.
Especially if there are a lot of people doing the two-stop strategy. You're really going to lose out to those guys.
So I'm sure everybody pretty much has the strategy that they want in mind here tonight. Although if you're somebody, you know, in the back half of the top 10 here, don't really feel like you got the speed to push forward a couple more spots, you might take a Hail Mary shot on the alternate strategy.
So Reynolds and Dye are sort of in a class of their own up front here. John Kay has fallen about 2 seconds behind Nathan Reynolds. He's got Paluota about a half a second behind him, and Poliski tracking the 6 as well here. So, and then another 3 seconds and change back to Rodney Manning in 6. So field is pretty well broken up here. Caution free so far, 50 laps into this race.
Well, a little bit farther back in the pack here. This is around the 15th spot. One of our, or I should say our 4th and final car inside driver sits Michael Dean. He's in 16th, trying to work on Kyle Zittel right now. Michael Dean, he's right where he started the race, but he fell back a little bit early on, and he has now fought his way back up to 16th, working on Zittel for 15th.
And Zittel's big charge at the start of this race has stalled out. He is now going to drop a spot here to Dean, who finished 2nd in the All-Star race last week.
And Zittel was all the way up to 11, so he has fallen quite a few. He must have really been pushing hard here at the beginning of the race.
Oz Canar and Will Salamone came awfully close to contact there behind these two, as Vroman and Michael Dean gearing up for battle here.
Dean's doing a great job of just rolling the bottom of the track here.
And you'll notice... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, he gets off the throttle in a really good spot and, you know, just kind of keeps the throttle feathered as he needs to, but rolls the truck really, really nicely here, right on that yellow line. Just
21 minutes into this race, the sun is already up. So it is a new tradition in the Venom Truck Series, the sunrise race. We've gotten one last season at Iowa and now one here today at Richmond. So the sun coming up here on the sim. So some of these drivers that may have been a little more comfortable in the cool of dusk. We'll see how much this track is going to heat up here as the sun continues to rise through this race.
And we'll continue to keep an eye on the weather as the sun does actually come up and starts hitting the track. But right now, still very cool. 83 degrees on the track temperature.
Just had a pass for 11th as Garrett Rainey is on his way backwards. Michael Kroll has taken that spot, and now Rainey, I think, still side by side here for the spot. Not done fighting back just yet. And behind these two, how about Pascal Samard? Running up in 13th, up 2 spots from where he started. He is on the move forward. I mean, there's a hard luck driver of the season. That's my nomination right there, driver number 76. So, solid run here, and looks like it's only getting better. Hopefully it stays that way. Kevin Sargent has just hit pit road here, so maybe one of the first takers on a 2-stop strategy.
Yeah, if anybody that hasn't had damage, he's definitely the first one to come down pit road. So we're getting right at that point where you want to start breaking it up into even thirds if you're on that 2-stopper. So we'll start watching our leaders here and see what they elect to do.
Sargent was running, I think, just outside of the top 20 when he came in, so I'm not sure if any of the leaders are really pushing the panic button here, but you never know how that'll shake up somebody for, I don't know, 15th or so. I think Ryan Dye might be coming. Yep. Sure is. So, never mind that.
All right,
Kevin
and
Sargent
is right behind him.
Kevin Sargent just drug second and third on the pit road. That is canon.
Eric Breeding down pit road here as well. So yeah, a lot of drivers here in the top 10. And leader Reynolds. So yep, looks like that two-stop strategy is the main strategy here for the evening. We'll see who decides to stay out and try to go for the one stop. We'll see how it plays out.
Tyler Burgett also on pit road. Kyle Dumig with some damage on pit road. Michael Krall is hitting pit road from just outside of the top 10. Clean stops for Dye and Kay.
Here comes Palawoda. Andy Poliski still out on track.
Feels like a long stop here for Nathan Reynolds, but he is away.
Matney and Bartel are still out. This is a battle for second on the track, but they have Sargent who came into pit in between them now.
Ryan Dye is pulled up right to the outside of Nathan Reynolds out of the pit exit. I think Reynolds is still going to maintain the lead here. Kyle Zittel, black flag on pit entry.
Oh.
That ain't right. Will Salamone on pit road. So expecting Reynolds, Dye, and Kay to cycle out to the top three, and they are almost nose to tail here.
Bartel and Matney battling for second on the track. Bartel will get the best of him. This was kind of brought on by Sargent, that lap truck. Matney went high for him, and now Matney's going to come down pit road.
Just had a problem with Tyler Burgert. He snapped loose, overcorrected, and pounded the wall at turn number 4. So he has picked up a meatball flag, unfortunately.
And we've seen a lot of drivers here this season elect to stay out quite literally as long as possible. Not sure we'll see as long as possible here tonight because you can go a really, really long ways. But we might have some people really try that one-stop strategy. It's been clean and green up to this point, so if it stays green, that might work to their advantage here.
Jan Van Leer just had an absolute send on pit entry.
And you might have a couple try to stay out quite literally as long as possible, and if we do end up getting a caution at some point before they have to come in and pit, that can really work to the benefit depending on where they cycle out.
Oh, caution is out. I'm looking around. I could tell you Rodney Matney was out of shape, but I don't know if he actually crashed or not. So we are under caution for the very first time here. And with a few drivers yet to pit, Reynolds, Kay, Dye, and everybody else that is pit is trapped one lap down. Oh, boy.
Wow. Yeah, no. Oh, boy is right.
So, I mean, did it tell you what brought out the caution here?
Oh, that's definitely not it. I'm going to try to find it here.
I'm going to go back and look at Rodney Matney, I guess, because he was certainly out of shape, but I didn't see him actually go around at any point.
Oh, I think it's Kyle Zittel. Here it is. Zittel went around right in front of Nathan Reynolds, and he came to a stop just about a half a lane up the racetrack out of turn number 4, just in front of the start-finish line. He does get it rolling again here, but the caution has flown for it.
So this has been a race that has gone from bad to worse for Nathan Zittel. Holy cow. How about Kyle Zittel? Was the hard charger at one point, lost a couple of spots, came into pit, sped into the pits, picked up a black flag, and then spins out to bring out the first caution.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's the other thing. We have a lot of drivers that are a lap down here looking to get a lap back.
I think up to 19th is going to get the wave around here. And maybe further back than that. I don't really know. I guess I should just wait and see how it plays out here.
Well, I think it'll start with John Kay. So Kay is right behind the pace car, and then we go.
The confusion on my end is Oskanar is right behind him, and he was 2 laps down and is now down to 1 lap down. So we'll have 19 trucks on the lead lap, essentially. And more people than that getting the wave around here.
Yeah, it looks like there's about 7 trucks that are getting the wave around that will then be on the lead lap. And, of course, everybody else that had not come into pit yet benefits greatly from this. They get to come down pit road and then still start at the start of the field. Poliski, Bartel, I'm sure Palovoda has to be absolutely kicking himself as well as Rodney Matney that they came in very late there.
Yes.
I mean, Matney had literally just come into pit maybe a half a lap or a lap before that caution flew.
So we've got Ethan Hennigar in the chat. And I'm not sure who you're rooting for, but I'm rooting for him too, I suppose.
I don't know if we mentioned Lindsay G in the chat
Yes.
as well.
Lindsay G, let's go ICR, Bing Bong. We're cheering for Dino and all the ICR gang here tonight, as always. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight. We lost Flinky Roberts. He got blown up by a Minecraft creeper, apparently. So, you know, that's a Tuesday night.
That's a Tuesday.
That's a Tuesday, isn't it? I don't know what we're on tonight, but we've got the memes rolling here. I think it's just the vibe of the Bing Bong 190.
Yep.
And we're still a little loopy from last night too.
We're trying to unwind a little bit after last night's crazy short track race.
So, Nathan Reynolds, I don't really know what's going on. He's trying to lobby to keep his position right now. He's got an end-of-line penalty. He would have restarted 12th if they would not have extended the caution. But now it's asking him to go to the tail end of all the wave-around trucks, too, and it's not going to happen as we are back to green.
Well, we'll go ahead and look at the restart from the perspective of Mr. Carr inside. We'll go Carr inside for this restart here. Oh, big stack up in front of him. I mean, he is right here in the Hornet's Nest starting 12th. But starting on the outside is really preferred here, I think. You get to carry a lot of momentum. The only place it's not preferred is at the very start of the field because Andy Poliski got a great restart.
Poliski well clear of TJ Bartel by nearly half a second here as Paul Elson, Garraini, Michael Dean, your top 5, Brantley Gainey, Pascal Simard, Steve Roman, Luke Peterson, and now Nathan Reynolds up into the top 10.
And Michael Dean was right there around 15th, elects to stay out for quite a while. He's going to get the benefit from it, gets to start inside the top 5. He's got Brantley Gainey right behind him.
John Camp into the top 10, moves Luke Peterson out as, oh boy, Vroman and Simard awfully close there. Vroman going to get the best of the 76 on the outside and will now advance on Brantley Gainey here.
Roman's still working the outside. He's electing the outside, not forced there. He's carrying a lot of speed around these corners and using it to pass down the straights.
Reynolds moving up onto the scene of this battle as well. We'll have to pick up Pascal Simard first before he can get to Steve Vroman or Brantley Gainey. Things
Up
calm
front.
inside the top 5, but not anywhere else. And actually, it's not even calm up here now.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that. Bartel was right up on the bumper of Poliski with Ellison right in tow as well. That first run, Bartel did a great job of keeping the long run speed, but starting up here towards the front, you kind of want to push a little bit harder to try to get to that top spot. I'm not sure he'll be able to get that same effect or the same effectiveness of the long run as he did that first really long green flag run.
Jan Van Leer just had to make a save after maybe what sounded like some contact with him and Eric Breeding. Bartel trying to hang on to second. Ellison fighting tooth and nail. And it's been a quiet season for Paul Ellison, really, up to this point. 10th in the points, but has had some misfortune and then just plugging away as usual in his usual top 5, top 10 mode. But would love to notch a podium here tonight. So would Garrett Rainey. Garrett Rainey wants to get back on the podium too.
I mean, there's
Caution.
a lot of
Trouble on the back
big
straightaway.
trouble.
Oh boy, that is a big one. Matney involved, Paluota, Gary Clark. It looks like Oz Kanar, Jeremy Carter on the scene here as well. And cautions, breeding cautions here on the short track. And oh boy, Kyle Zittel and Paluota makes contact.
Well, let's take a look. Coming down here into the first turn. Paluota on the outside in the 6. Zittel on the inside or side by side. Yeah, and as we're coming out of the corner, looks like Zittel drifts up the racetrack just a bit, and he'll get right reared. Coming across the nose of the 6. 6 goes into the inside wall, and my goodness, the piling on or into Kyle Zittel just takes its toll from here. There's quite a few trucks that end up piling into this thing. We'll watch full speed. Zittel, he jumps to the pits. I'm sure a meatball flag for him.
Meatballs for Zittel and Paluota. Surprisingly, they're the only two out of this crash, though. Corey Rutherford and Oz Kanar both getting some extended service done in the pits, as now some of the leaders hitting pit road this time. Jeremy Carter, Jan Van Leer, Kyle Dumig, Rodney Matney, of course, picked up some damage in that as well. Will Salamone has hit the pits. He got the lucky dog this time. So Salamone will be the 20th truck back on the lead lap here. As I'm assuming Paluota here getting some service done, some required repairs at that. Will probably lose at least a lap here, if not more.
Yeah, and I think Jan Van Leer, he was actually involved in that incident there as well. So he's trying to get some damage repaired.
So they are lining up for the restart up front, I do believe. Not sure if we're on one to go or not. Poliski will take the inside. Bartel will line up on the outside.
It looks like we're still single file here for the moment. Some just getting in their positions right now, I think.
Poliski has said over the radio that he will elect the inside. Paluota already has his meatball flag cleared. So that's some good news. Kyle Zittel, unfortunately, I think has disconnected from the session. And also Oz Kanar. All right, cautions breed cautions. We're going to restart this one with 100 laps to go. Working our second caution. Poliski and Bartel will be on the front row. Ellison and Rainey on row 2. Dean and Vroman on row 3. Gainey and Simard on row 4. John Kay, Nathan Reynolds teammates there on row number 5. I should say also teammates on row number 2 as well. Alabama gang, holy cow, running strong here tonight. It's just through that set of 3 and 4, those turns, the sun got a lot brighter, I felt like.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to peak up over the grandstands here now. 3 of our car inside drivers all lined up on the inside here. We were on board with Reynolds, now on board with Gainey, and Michael Dean right in front of them in the IC73.
Whoa! John Kay was on the outside at 3 wide, and he doesn't know how close he just came to being done, as Simard made a little bit of contact with Luke Peterson, and it was almost all over for all 3 of them.
Reynolds has made work of Gainey, now looks to get around Dean. Barely any room on the inside, but he puts it there anyways.
Caution is back out. I think Kevin Sargent and Corey Rutherford have had somewhat of an incident. But it looks like they're all rolling here. So caution is out. And Rutherford, I think, is going to drift up the track into Kevin Sargent. Is sure what it looked like to me anyway.
Caution must already be out here. Let me take a different look. Oh yeah, it happens in front of them. Sorry, give me just a second. Oh yeah, and they're 3 wide. I believe that's with Matney. Oh, yeah, and Sargent, he just brushes the outside wall coming out of the corner. And I think it's neck code contact maybe then with Rutherford. And Rutherford ends up getting turned into the wall off of it. The truck ends up drifting up to the right, coming across the 09. And Rutherford, yeah, definitely sideways here into the corner. Goes for a spin. All right, third caution of the evening. We are just at the halfway point.
And we went a long time without one. But they, once you have one, you can't have enough.
And it sounds like Poliski is on fuel save mode here.
Interesting. So
Poliski thinking about, I don't know, thinking about stretching this thing all the way out, I guess. He came into pit on lap 71.
That's what I was just going back to look at. That is, that's a lap after the first caution came out.
And, I mean, that is right at our wit's end of what we think the fuel window can be, which is 115, 120 laps. So, you know, to make it to lap 190, that's 119, 120 laps right there.
Oh, boy.
So, he's going to get some benefit from some caution laps here in the early going of the run. But that is quite a ways to stretch it. But thinking about not having another stop after this. If this thing continues to go green.
So I believe we've lost Nathan Palawota, unfortunately. He was back out on track, but then has since disconnected. So it'll be... go ahead.
I'm wondering if some of our other drivers are also on fuel save mode here.
But it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, we still had quite a few drivers out on track that had yet to pit when the first caution came out. So that may have forced their hand if they weren't already headed that direction on a one-stop race.
Problem is, those drivers that had to get their wave around, they were not able to come in, so they're at a disadvantage here.
Poliski and Bartel back to it. Another good start here for the 32, this time on the outside.
Looked like Dean got shuffled out to the outside. He's going to slot in right in front of Luke Peterson, but he lost like 3 positions right there.
Yes, indeed. Here is Reynolds to the inside of Vroman for spot number 5.
Reynolds sails it into the corner. He's able to stick it on the bottom. His teammate John Kay trying to stay in suit. Oh, Vroman a little loose.
Oh, boy.
Reynolds gets by. John Kay is going to get by here. A little bit farther back here in the pack, Matney, who had a great run going and then got damage off the last, or a couple of incidents ago, still trying to march forward. As Salamoni in tow with him. They're working on breeding, and now Michael Krall. This is just inside the top 15. Meanwhile, pretty thinned out towards the front. Poliski, Bartel, Rainey, Ellison, and Reynolds are the top 5 right now. Kay has looked to the inside. He's doing it again, but Reynolds just does a great job of carrying the momentum through the corner. Gets a good run off the top side.
Ryan Dye trying to climb his way back into the top 10 here, but is fading away from Brantley Gainey, who has that spot right now and is challenging to the outside of Luke Peterson. Oh, man. Lots of tight side-by-side racing as here goes John Kay underneath of Reynolds again. Ellison with another look underneath of Rainey as well for third. Ellison a little loose, Rainey a little wide.
Early on in these runs, it's just so hard to pass because you have grip all over the racetrack.
So you said this race started at what, 79 degrees track temperature? Are we much higher than that right now?
Well, the sun has finally hit the track, and this is kind of wild. From the last time we checked, we were at 83. We're down to 81 now.
Interesting.
Ambient temperature is at 78.
Okay.
So the track is not heating up much at all. Actually, it's cooling.
Gainey's got a run and a look now on Luke Peterson for ninth. Not sure anything is going to come of it just yet, but Gainey's been knocking on the door for a while here. Ryan Dye is pulling back up into this mix as well, and I believe he's brought Pascal Simard up with him. Single file all the way through at least the 12th position right now. Actually, single file pretty much the whole way through the field. Jeremy Carter and Corey Rutherford just had a little bit of a dust-up.
We'll go car inside with Brantley Gainey. He sits P10 right now. He's trying some different lines around the racetrack. We saw him in that last corner go way to the top side. Oh, he's in the wall. He followed Peterson into the wall in front stretch.
Man.
He does get around Peterson.
Peterson certainly gets the worst of that exchange. He's let Ryan die pass and now has Pascal Samard all over him. Maybe getting back into line here. Meanwhile, in front of them, Nathan Reynolds has been passed by John Kay. It happened rather quickly while all of that was happening behind.
In that battle, Steve Roman sucked up right to the back of it as well. We're getting a good view of it here from Michael Dean's car inside camera. And how about an even better look at the back bumper of John Kay? We'll go car inside with Nathan Reynolds.
Good battles and good in-cars all the way around the track here.
Reynolds just has to be thinking, what kind of luck do I have to get to make some ground up on this Poliski guy? Obviously got caught in a bad spot on the green flag pit stops with a caution. Ooh, a little bit tight. Out of turn number 2, had to back it off a bit.
I think it's worth... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, we're still all pretty close together here. I mean, nobody has a real big advantage. There's no 1 second advantage in the top 5 here at all. From Vroman back to Dean, it's 1.2, but the top 7, none of them are separated by any more than about 0.8 of a second here.
I think it's worth pointing out that in Andy Poliski's 2 victories this season, one at Daytona and one at North Wilkesboro, he led a combined 9 laps. 8 at North Wilkesboro and 1 at Daytona. So, I mean, he's gotten to victory lane twice this season, but all that is to say, we haven't seen a whole lot of him up front, quite honestly.
Well, he knows how to get it done and when to get it done. He knows what that most important lap is.
Rainey and Ellison going back at it for the 3rd position. That has opened that gap from Bartel to Rainey up by quite a bit now, as these two continue to get after it. In fact, it's Alabama gang 3, 4, 5, 6. They are all right here. Rainey's done a great job holding off Paul Ellison. But John Kay already advancing on the 55 here on the outside.
Yeah, John Kay looking to take advantage of Ellison and Rainey kind of battling each other for room on the bottom. He says, all right, I'll take the top, a little bit of cleaner air, and see what I can do.
Little wiggle there for the 55. Kay not clear just yet, though. And now with a run off the top side, John is going to be clear, but not by much. He'll take the bottom regardless, or at least cut off the advance there from Paul Ellison. So car number 2 up to P4. As Poliski continues to lead Bartel, Garrett Rainey in 3rd, John Kay, Paul Ellison your top 5, Nathan Reynolds in 6th, Steve Roman in 7th, Michael Dean, Brantley Gainey, and Ryan Dye your top 10. Luke Peterson, Pascal Samard, Michael Kroll, Rodney Matney, and Eric Breeding your top 15. 19 trucks on the lead lap. Jan Van Leer in 16th, Will Salamone in 17th, Kevin Sargent and Jeremy Carter. 1 truck, 1 lap down, Corey Rutherford in 20th.
You mentioned that while the battle with Kay, Rainey, Ellison was going on, the lead for the top 2, Bartel and Poliski. Bartel is about a half a straightaway ahead of Rainey now, and they're still extending.
Yeah, well over 2.5 seconds from Rainey to Bartel, and now Rainey is about to have his hands full with John Kay, who is moving up to the outside again to challenge. Oh, and this may be quicker work as he is already clear on Rainey. Oh, Rainey, I think he's coming to pit. Interesting move there.
Very interesting. I did not expect that at all, actually.
No. He is the second car to come to pit after the pace car entered the pits after Gary Clark about 9 laps ago. But Rainey gives up the 3rd position by entering the pits. This is how it'll go down on the stat book here. So, interesting call. We'll have to see how this is going to play out. I think he's going to need some, I guess maybe some green flag running. Maybe he knows that everybody is short despite some of the fuel save efforts. We'll have to see.
Well, I think that was only his second time in the pits, and I believe, I want to say that he was one of the drivers that got caught a lap down, so I don't think he was able to come in and pit when Poliski and everybody else did there. So I don't think he definitely didn't have enough fuel, and I think he's right. Some of these other drivers that haven't come in yet are also going to have to come in again eventually.
So he'll start to make up some ground on everybody that is still out here that needs to make another pit stop. I'll tell you, Andy Poliski's last time around was a 23.26. Gary Rainey just ran a 22.39. So he is almost a full second quicker than the leaders right now.
Oh, here comes Ryan Dye.
All right, Ryan Dye into pit. And could this start the avalanche of drivers onto pit road?
It very well may. Some of the other drivers that definitely are going to have to come in before the race is over for fuel. It's John Kay, Reynolds, Michael Kroll is in that group as well. I think Eric Breeding's in that group. And as
Here
we've
comes John
mentioned
Kay.
it, here they come.
Kay and Reynolds both onto pit road this time. Nobody came in with Ryan Dye last time, but now Kay and Reynolds. They were the only 2 this time. Eric Breeding has announced he is pitting this time.
That leaves Michael Kroll, the only car left out, or the truck left out on the racetrack that will definitely have to come into pit at some point. I think everybody else should be, well, at least close to good. A lot of those drivers that came in on lap 71 are really going to be stretching it here. Oh, Poliski's coming in.
There we go. That turns the whole race on its head right here. So pretty much everybody's going to be coming down pit road, you would imagine. Rodney Matney in as well.
Either that or he just thought that long with those guys on fresh tires was just too long to try to stay out on them.
Here comes Bartel from the lead. Michael Dean is getting ready to pit this time as well.
Wow.
Strategy all over the board here.
And you know somebody's going to try it.
Speaking of somebody, shout out to Hunter Leach. He would try it.
Yeah, boy.
You know he would. John Kay, purple lap of the race, 22.114. So here we go again. Ellison, Vroman, Peterson, Simard, Kroll, Gainey, Van Leer, Kevin Sargent, Salamone, and Carter have yet to come to pit road.
Now I don't want to do this.
Oh God.
But it's about the same group of drivers that have now come into pit early. They are the same ones that got themselves trapped a lap down when the first caution came out tonight.
Yep.
Will it happen again?
The only addition to that group, I would say, is Andy Poliski, who was in the lead when the caution came out last time. This time is already down pit road. And Garrett Rainey, worth pointing out, will cycle out to the lead as they run right now. He does have Andy Poliski running him down rather quickly here. So Rainey started this whole shebang off and would be leading if everybody were to pit right now.
I'm wondering if maybe Rainey took 2 tires to try to
I just think
that
that's
group here.
I mean, he was a full second quicker than Andy Poliski for 4 or 5 laps before he pit. Michael Kroll in this time.
That is a good point. Poliski did come in pretty late. But he came in later than Kay and Reynolds as well, and they weren't able to leapfrog, so that's interesting.
Yes. Poliski is on the scene here. So a battle for, I guess technically, the 11th position is about to be on, but this will be for the lead once everybody pits. We think, anyway.
Now, the drivers that I think are definitely good on fuel, the first one is in 5th place. That's Jan Van Leer in the 5.
Interesting.
Second one would be in 7th place. That's Kevin Sargent. The rest of the top 4, they all came into pit the exact same lap that Poliski did. And this could also be a championship points play for Poliski. He doesn't want a, kind of weird strategy to come back and bite him and lose a bunch of points. I mean, if he comes into pit with the rest of the title contenders and he, might finish 3rd to, Reynolds and John Kay, the most he's going to lose is a few points. If he tries to take a gamble and ends up running out of fuel, he could have lost a lot of points. So I think that could come into play in that decision-making as well.
Yeah, he has got his 2 title adversaries covered right now. John Kay is reeling him in. But in terms of strategy, they all 3 of them have played it pretty well, we think, at least to finish in close proximity to one another. What's going to be interesting here is that if you think Jan Van Leer is good on fuel, I'll say this. He is 15 seconds ahead of Andy Poliski right now. Now, what I will also say is you can do all the fuel calculations that you want, and I'm lumping myself into this too. But I would say there are absolutely no definites because it's the Venom Truck Series, and anything and everything always happens.
Well, that's about right, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, Ellison and Vroman in heavy traffic right here. Those are currently your 1 and 2 positions. Oh, Luke Peterson's coming into pit. He was one of the other trucks that came into pit on lap 71. So another one of those trucks thinking that they won't be able to make it here.
And a couple of laps before Peterson, Pascal Simard and Will Salamone both came into pit as well. So strategy all across the board here. Should be down to, I believe, 5 trucks still out on the track here? 6 that have yet to come to pit road under this cycle?
Yeah, it'll be 6 that still have not come into pit on this green flag cycle. That is correct.
Ellison, Vroman, Van Leer, Gainey, Sargent, and Jeremy Carter. Carter about to be overtaken by Poliski outright for the 6th position. And if the caution were to drop right this very second, it would be, I believe, Rodney Matney getting the free pass. And he's in the 13th position. Ryan Dye just unlapped himself.
Jan Van Leer's moved up to the 3rd spot now. Again, believe that he is good on fuel for sure.
It was a rocky start to the season, to say the least, for Jan Van Leer. But the finishes have really turned up the last few races. He's got, I believe, 2 top 10s in his last 3 starts. Was up front there at the end of New Hampshire last week. I believe slipped back outside of the top 5, close to 10th. But, I mean, what a baller move right here, if indeed he is good to the end.
Well, there's still a lot of laps to go.
Yes.
Even if he can't make it to the end, he's going to be hemorrhaging time here.
Oh, caution!
Oh, the caution's out.
Oh, yeah, that changes everything. There's no definites, other than there is uncertainty. I just heard over the radio a lap before this that Kevin Sargent and Brantley Gainey had maybe gotten together, but that was a lap or 2 ago. I don't see anything out on the track. Do you have something for us here?
I sure do. It's TJ Bartel and Jeremy Carter, actually.
Man. So Carter, again, was one that had stayed out, but was starting to drop back a little bit.
I'm actually going to go behind TJ Bartel here because there's a lot going on here. So as we come into this corner, Bartel is going to try to make a move on Reynolds. Reynolds shuts the door, and as we're coming out of turn number 4, Bartel tries to get in the gas, and I think he's just going to slot in right behind Carter, but he had a lot more momentum than Carter did, and he gets right into the left rear of Carter and spins him down the racetrack.
Man.
They both go into the inside wall. Yeah, pretty hard contact for Bartel on the inside wall. I think Carter stays clear of the inside wall, but already had some previous damage.
No meatball for Bartel, so some good news, I think, out of that. In more news, pretty much everybody has pit here except for Andy Poliski.
Wow. And Rodney Matney.
Well, Rodney Matney just got the free pass.
I see.
So he will be in 13th on this restart. We will have, I believe, 5 other drivers who are going to take the wave around here. Michael Krall, Eric Breeding, Corey Rutherford, Michael Dean, Luke Peterson, and Pascal Samard. I guess that's 6. But they will take the wave around to get back to the lead lap. Will Salamone is also in this group. He will be... actually, you know what? He's right behind Andy Poliski, so he is going to be trapped 1 lap down. So that's a tough break for the 99, but he'll be in the free pass spot. Should another caution come out? I don't know. I mean, we really think there's going to be another caution at a short track late in the race? No way.
No, it could never happen. Jacob Nagy in the chat as well.
It's great to hear from Jacob Nagy, as always. And a bing bong right back to you, sir. And yeah, you have tuned in for, I mean, a pretty crazy race, but not for the reasons maybe we were thinking headed into the night. Strategy has just been put on a blindfold and throw a dart and see who's going to land closest to the bullseye here. I mean, it has been a crazy race.
It's just it's been weird. Just when we thought strategies were really going to be able to be played out, we've had a couple of oddly timed cautions that have just thrown a wrench in the middle of both of those runs.
Yeah, I mean, think of the crop of drivers. We had one top 5 that got shuffled basically outside of the top 10, had to work themselves back up through the field. And now that group had done a pretty good job, but now is shuffled back again to an entirely new crop of people that are leading this race. Paul Olsen going to come out in 2nd. Steve Roman in 3rd, Jan Van Leer in 4th, Brantley Gainey in 5th.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got the best of that because everybody came down pit road because fresh tires seemed like they were needed for pretty much everybody. And so those four were able to come down pit road in front of the rest of the leaders, except for Poliski, who stays out. He will have a 20-lap tire deficit here.
20-lap tire deficit coming to lap 156. But it's Andy Poliski.
It is
Good
Andy Poliski, and I mean, still quite a few laps left, but they click off very quickly here, so they're going to go by pretty quick, I think.
Teammates Jan Van Leer, Brantley Gainey battling side by side for spot number 4. Reynolds underneath of, I believe, Kevin Sargent for the 7th position.
Wow, John K.
Wow.
really looking to push it. Gainey's loose.
Gainey's all over the place there on the bottom of the track.
K was all over Jan Van Leer. I thought he almost got into the back of him, but seemed like no contact.
Oh, boy, Jan Van Leer all over. Now here goes Paul Ellison underneath for the race lead. Ellison. Oh, he's
Ellison's
so loose. The battle's not over yet.
And here comes John K. It stacked everybody up. K's able to get to the back of the 00. Here goes
3
Ellison
wide.
again.
3 wide Reynolds, Jan Van Leer, and Rainey. That sorts itself out, but for the lead, Ellison back to it on the bottom. Much better this time. New leader, 55.
Now John K. has gotten some real estate underneath the 00. He absolutely smashes it into the corner side by side with Poliski. Should be able to get clear on this one, I think. Maybe not quite. Here goes Roman.
Wow, 3 wide for second. K loose, really loose. Saves it. I don't know how. Not a lot of real estate to work with there, but John K moves himself into second. They're still side by side for third behind him. I think John K's focus is now on the 55 of Ellison.
Farther back, Reynolds still trying to get around Jan Van Leer. They've been tied together here pretty good.
29 and a half laps to go.
Here comes Ryan Dye into the mix. He absolutely sails it in behind Jan Van Leer.
The gap is closing up front, but it's still at half a second. I'll keep my eyes up front as the rest of the field tries to sort itself out here.
Gainey now trying to work the outside on Poliski. So Poliski went from the top to now the bottom, just trying to find anywhere he can. Gainey is loose on the front stretch.
Awfully close to the wall there.
I'm not even sure it was just close.
It just was.
Boy, Poliski is on a slide.
He may come to regret the no tire call, or the no pit call, rather. As John K has cut the lead to about 2 truck lengths here.
Current points leader and reigning champion Poliski is in trouble. John K and Nathan Reynolds are trying to take advantage of the situation at hand. Reynolds still working on Gainey here. He's finally clear. He'll set his sights for third and Roman.
John K is here. Up to the back bumper of this 55 truck. Paul Ellison, 4 times a winner in the Venom Truck Series. Scratch that, 3 times a winner, but no victory since season 4. We just snapped 1 long winless streak with Steve Roman this season. Paul Ellison would like to take his name off of that list. John K wants to keep his winning ways going, and here he goes to the inside. Ellison, the top side, prevails for now. 167 of 190.
We've seen those types of advances a lot from the 2 truck tonight. He'll dive it deep into the corner on the inside and try to make you uncomfortable. He doesn't really get a great run out of the corner, but he kind of regroups and then tries another one, and it seems to work out a little bit better as the run goes on, but only 23 laps left to go, so running out of time a little bit here.
Some lap traffic ahead, not a whole lot. The 8 of Kyle Dumig will stay high for the leaders here. And then not a whole lot. I'm not sure we'll even catch any more lap trucks if they stay pointed straight by the end of this race. John Kay sizing up Paul Ellison. What is going through both of these drivers' minds right now?
Well, Kay is just trying to get right to the back of the 50 top 5. He did a really good job at first and having a little bit more trouble now. Maybe he's gotten some heat into the tires. Oh, looks like Ellison has a bit of a mistake.
Ellison. Wow, Ellison shuts the door. Makes good out of a bad situation there after he got really tight out of turn 2. But John Kay right there, pouncing. Kay up the track, awfully tight there for the lead.
Kay still not done. Absolutely sends it into that corner. Clears himself up the 55. He's in the wall.
Ellison with a crossover. Teammates battling for the lead. Kay now on the outside, Ellison on the inside. A roll reversal out of turn number 2. It's going to be John Kay back to the gas.
And behind them, it's a huge battle between Vroman and Reynolds. Reynolds is finally able to catch up to the 00.
And the 00 is catching up to the lead here. They gained about a 1/10 of a second that last time, and the gap has been closing more than that. But John Kay in the lead. 18 coming to 17 laps to go. Kay is not done fighting his truck yet, though. It still looks out of shape. Looks like Ellison is too tight. Kay is too loose. Well, personally, I'd rather be on the loose side here, but I don't know about as loose as I've seen that 2 truck. Here goes Reynolds underneath of Vroman for 3rd.
Tight battle, a bit of side drafting here between the two. Reynolds rolls the bottom beautifully. Still not clear quite yet. He'll send it down here into the corner to clear himself. Vroman tries for a crossover. It's not there.
Behind them, Brantley Gainey comfortably in the 5th position here. 2nd plus clear on Jan Van Leer behind him.
And for those curious, Poliski has fallen all the way back to 10th, but still in trouble. Here comes Sargent to try to take that position away.
Kyle Zittel up in the wall by the leaders. Staying up there, though.
Ellison is not going away here.
No, certainly not. Maybe a strategic play to let John Kay get out and burn his stuff up for a little bit. Because he is hanging right in step.
Well, I'm not sure Kay burned it up after he got to the lead. I think he burned it up trying to get to the lead.
However it got done, Ellison's hoping the damage is done.
John Kay was all over the place trying to get to that top spot.
Nathan Reynolds behind them is catching them a little bit. Maybe not enough, though. So we're closing in on 10 to go in the next couple laps. Oh, John Kay blinking. Don't tell me John Kay just blinked out of this session.
He's back now. He blinked out for a long time, though.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that scared the daylights out of me. Holy cow. I got a flashback there to Gavin Sanders at Watkins Glen in Truck 200.
Kidding.
Oh, my God.
No kidding. no problems for anybody all night, and then you're going to tell me that would happen?
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, boy. Well, let's hope it doesn't happen again. Just, it's another thing to factor into the closing stretch of this race as if you needed anything else. But 10 laps to go, now make it 9.5. John Kay trying to hold off Paul Ellison. It'd be win number 3 on the season for John Kay. It'd be the first win in over 2 seasons for Paul Ellison, if he were able to get back by John Kay.
Well, if those two do start battling again, Reynolds in third is still closing the margin.
Little by little, that 38 is trying to draw himself back into the mix here. Paul Ellison fading little by little. Lap traffic ahead, maybe. Corey Rutherford will play a part in the grand finale here. Okay, tucks in behind the 25. Now we'll send it to the inside. Not a whole lot of room to work with. Ellison will get by Rutherford a lot easier than John Kay did. So the gap is closed. Has it closed enough for Ellison to make something happen? Six to go at the line. Reynolds advancing still. Caution! Oh my goodness. I think Garrett Rainey has gone around. Maybe.
Luke Peterson.
It was Kyle Dumig, I think, actually.
Well, Peterson was definitely around. I'm not sure how it happened. We'll take a look at the replay here. He's actually trying to work underneath of Jeremy Carter. Oh, and Carter bounces off the wall, and he comes off the wall up into Peterson, who has a clean truck up to this point, but Peterson takes a hard shot, the front of the truck, right into the outside wall here. We're going to go ahead and back it up and go kickpot cam here for just a moment, as we're on board with Peterson. There's nothing he could do. Carter just bounces right off that outside wall.
Andy Politzky, Michael Dean, Eric Breeding on pit road, Luke Peterson as well, of course. Some discussion over some lap traffic. That's what got me confused initially about who was involved in this accident. They were just discussing maybe a little bit more room being needed. Some other drivers weighing in on that as well. But oh boy.
Oh boy is right.
Hunter Leach says, where's the big one? It was last night. Go back and watch our final coverage of the SWM Cup Series from Bristol last night. That was, some good racing when we were green. For sure.
Definitely a big one, though.
Definitely several big ones in there. Haven't really had... I guess the one with Zittel and Paluota earlier was somewhat of a big one. Maybe not the biggest accident you could
trucks.
see. Yeah. So I guess back it up to that. But now, going to be knocking on the door of overtime here. I think we may just go one lap over if we have one overtime. John Kay, Paul Ellison, Nathan Reynolds, Brantley Gainey, Steve Roman, your top 5. Jan Van Leer, Ryan Dye, TJ Bartell, Garrett Rainey, and Rodney Matney, your top 10. As we are indeed headed to overtime. And I guess if we get all 3 overtimes in here, Poliski, Breeding, and Dean, keep them in mind.
Well, Poliski, he gave up a couple of spots to come and get tires, I think, but
Yes.
much needed.
Much needed for sure. We'll see how far they can rally here, if indeed we are just limited to 1 overtime here. John Kay is going to elect the inside.
I think that's the smart move. You don't want anybody to try to dive bomb you here into turn number 1 or even turn number 3 if they're able to advance that far on you. Of course, he will have an advantage on the takeoff here. We'll see if he can get a good one.
So many things at stake here, not the least of which is a race win at Richmond. Huge takeoff here for John Kay.
And Nathan Reynolds. Reynolds is able to get a good one. He may clear Ellison into 1. He does.
Ellison backs up the entry, trying for a crossover. Stacking up further back in the field. We'll have to see if they're going to go around. Doesn't look like it.
Dye, he sends it down here.
Rainey gets moved up the track by Rodney Matney as well. White flag. This is it. Somebody went off into the grass on the front straightaway. Is John Kay leading Nathan Reynolds? Is Reynolds going to put on a big move here? Reynolds to the outside. Looking for some inspiration from Ross Chastain, but he's not going to find it. John Kay, 2 in a row, 3rd on the season. Reckon after the finish. That is career win number 5 for Allstate John Kay. It's his 2nd in a row. And all of a sudden, he is cooking.
He's going to go for another lap around.
And why not? Andy Poliski restarted in 16th, made it up to 11th. So I think that's as good as he was going to get. But certainly, Nathan Reynolds back in control of the points lead. John Kay, I believe, will be in 2nd in the points now. Although Poliski did lead quite a few laps here tonight, so we'll have to see how that all shakes out. The Polish victory lap and the swipe there from Brantley Gainey. He's just going to have to keep on updating the SDK gaming information bar there.
Most certainly. Can't believe it. 2 in a row.
And the South this time actually in the South. We'll get to burn it down all together. 4 out of the 6 drivers of the Alabama gang and their associate team, Superkick Revival Racing. A whale of a season for this group. 5 victories on the season, courtesy of John Kay and Nathan Reynolds.
Alrighty.
As they continue to burn it down here, I guess we'll go ahead and give you the finishing results here. John Kay in victory lane at Richmond for career win number 5. It's his 3rd on the season. Some incredible work here by driver number 2. Nathan Reynolds will finish on the podium here tonight in the runner-up position. Paul Ellison will be on the podium. It's his first top 5 of the season, but a fantastic run here tonight for driver 55. We'll get to talk to him in booth 200, which is always a treat here momentarily. Brantley Gainey, great finish here tonight. He will finish in spot number 4. I believe that is his best finish of the season. It's his first top 5. Steve Roman then will round out your top 5. It's his 2nd top 5 of the season. Jan Van Leer, I tell you, he's been clicking off some great finishes. This match is his season best finish in the 6th position. Ryan Dye will finish in 7th. It's his 5th top 10 of the season. TJ Bartel will finish in 8th here tonight. The top 10 streak is still alive for Rodney Matney. He will finish in 9th. And Michael Dean will finish in the 10th position. Andy Poliski, again, rallies for 11th. Garrett Rainey, I believe, was one of those drivers that was involved in the fracas there in the closing laps. He will slide back to 12th. Kevin Sargent will finish in 13th. Luke Peterson, despite the crash there to bring out the final caution, will finish in 14th. Pascal Samar back to 15th. Eric Breeding in 16th. Corey Rutherford in 17th. Jeremy Carter in 18th. And Michael Kroll will finish the last truck on the lead lap in 19th. Will Salamone will finish 1 lap down in 20th. 3 laps down in 21st is Kyle Dumig. 8 laps down in 23rd is Gary Clark, or 22nd rather. And then Tyler Berger will finish in 23rd. DNFs for, I believe, Kyle Zittel, Nathan Palawoda, Oz Kanar, Cole Maxwell, and Joshua Caudle down through 28th. Ethan Patterson did not start this race. So that is your finishing order. We will go ahead and drag up your third place finisher up into booth 200 for the first time in what feels like forever. But Paul Ellison, rocking a podium spot here tonight. Welcome back.
What's up? I finally get to talk to y'all.
I mean, not that we, because we are objective journalists up here. But I got to tell you, I think Matt and I were rooting for you a little bit, if only to, see John Kay lose. But I mean, what a closing stretch of this race for you. Had to be a big smile across your face when that caution came out while you and Steve Roman were out front.
Yeah, I'd stayed out. I just couldn't figure out what kind of strategy I wanted to run. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to stay out as long as Steve does, because if I pit and go a lap down and he doesn't pit, then I'm stuck. So it worked out. It worked out really well. And we got Alabama Gang top 3.
Absolutely. The podium sweep here, it's only been done a few times in Venom Truck Series, so congrats on that. But you started fairly deep in this field. Did you think you had a shot to get up into the top 5 and really contend for the win there after starting 18th here tonight?
Yeah, as much as I don't like short tracks, really, I'd run good here at Martinsville and stuff. I just could not get the traction on my qualifying, so I just couldn't get a good qualifying lap down. But I knew if I could survive and just work my way to the front and do something I could get up here, I'd be okay. Really happy with the top 3. Wish it could have got me a win, but I'm fine with the top 3 with my teammates.
Matt, what do you got?
Congrats on the P3. Good to talk to you here. I know that you kind of talked about it already. When you were staying out before that caution came out, kind of in the middle of that last run, were you good on fuel to the end, or were you just trying to stretch it out as long as possible?
I was going to have to stretch it as long as possible. I was about 12 laps short, and I knew there was no way to make up 12 laps here and have a contention. But I was going to try to pull off a one-stopper. I wasn't going to do it, and then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to try it. So that's why I stayed out long in the first run.
Well, you've shouted out your teammates in the Alabama Gang. Anybody else you want to shout out or say hi to here tonight?
Oh, yeah, I got to shout out Corey Rutherford. He does my paints for all the series I run. He does an amazing job on them, and that's why I carry him on my truck. And Mullet Music Productions, his brother, on YouTube. But CGR Graphics, Mullet Music Productions, and what's up, Victor? He's my buddy. He usually checks out these races, so.
Well, shout out to Victor, and shout out to you. You weren't the Victor here tonight, but a P3 for you. It feels good for us. I'm sure it feels good for you as well. Hopefully, first of many to come here for the rest of the season for you.
Yeah, I was beginning to think y'all were bad luck for me, but now here I am.
Well, I'm glad we could all get on the same page here tonight. Go party hard. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, have a good one.
And now your runner-up finisher. It feels like it's been a while since we've had Mr. Billy Badbutt himself up in booth 200. But Nathan Reynolds, your runner-up finisher here tonight. Welcome back to the booth, partner. Great drive for you again.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been sitting in my rig too, so it felt different. I'll be honest, I was nervous those first few laps. That's probably the most nervous I think I've ever been sitting in this seat, because it'd been exactly 2 weeks. Once I got up from the last race, I hadn't touched it, and I just dealing with a lot of burnout. So there was a lot of nerves tonight, just being around people, not wanting to make a mistake.
Well, for blowing the dust off of it, you were up front pretty much all night. How concerned were you after that first caution came out and you and a ton of other people sort of got caught out there?
Very. I knew tonight was going to be about track position. I felt like honestly, I felt like I was the fastest truck out there, but I knew track position was going to play a bigger factor than any bit of speed you could have. And what I wanted was the race to just stay green so I could do my thing. And once I got mired back, I kind of knew that it was over with and I was just going to have to salvage what I could. And yeah, I know that was early, but I've been around long enough to know how these things go. And it's a battle of track position. John got me kind of early when I got pinned behind a couple slower trucks and set sail. He was quick. And he's always hard to catch when you give him clean air and get him out front. Hats off to him. He ran one heck of a race tonight.
Matt, what do you got?
Well, you did about as good as you could with what you were given. The cautions were a bit untimely there for quite a few of you. But you ended up getting a bit of an advantage over Andy Poliski here tonight. Andy stayed out on one of those final cautions, and he ended up finishing 11th. So you're in a good position here going into this back half of the season.
Yeah, I'm. I almost didn't race tonight. I tell you guys, I'm dealing with extreme burnout, and I had to talk myself into racing. I didn't. I come in here about 15 to late, and I'm like, okay, just got to focus. And if we can get things clicking and just get out of this little slump here and start enjoying sitting in the seat, then I think we got a good shot at going for it this year. We just gotta get the right mentality and start having fun here.
Well, I hope tonight was fun for you. It's always fun to get to shout out people at the end of the night, I think, anyway. But who do you want to say hi to here tonight?
Oh yeah, for the people that's constantly sticking with me, even though I'm not around posting content, all my YouTube followers on Car Inside, thanks to those guys. The comment section, even though it was old videos and stuff, was still full and keeping me busy throughout the week. So thanks to all my supporters. And I got NASCAR report on the truck tonight. Been talking to RJ here a lot lately, and a lot of cool things brewing up in the NASCAR world, rumors and stuff. And so keep your eyes peeled on the NASCAR report and see what he has to post. He'd be one of the first people to break it to you. And of course, Nitro Racing setups and everything that they do in the open setup world. If you there's free setups out there, and there's also setups that if you pay a little bit for, you're going to be a whole lot faster. So check those guys out. It's well worth the money.
I'm sure RJ's head is going to be spinning here in the next couple of weeks from everything I've been hearing lately. But
I'm going to tell you guys, okay, I'm going to leak something here. And this didn't come from him. This come from a team, someone that I know. But you could look for people are really curious as to how Ford got Josh Berry away from Chevrolet. Well, don't think so fast. Just wait and see.
Oh boy! Well, that's we'll keep our ears to the ground on that one. Thanks for the time as always, and thanks for the juicy deets here. Go party hard, go celebrate here on a P2, and we'll hope to see you back here again next week.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Oh, I almost moved Matt out of the booth there. That would have been disastrous. We'll go ahead on the heels of that. We'll go ahead and bring up our race winner. All-State, All-Star, most popular driver, John Kay. Winner for the second time in a row. Welcome back. Congrats on the win.
Thanks. Well, that was that was a race. That was something. That was something.
I mean, you went through as much as anybody else, getting caught out by both of those cautions on that pit strategy. Luckily, the second time around, you had unlapped yourself already. But boy, I mean, it was a lot of work to get yourself back up through the field time and time again.
Yeah, man, it's tough to pass here. It was slick. It was different than the practice session yesterday. The practice session yesterday was not nearly as slick, but I think there's so many good guys in this league. We all gave plenty of room at the end. It was all fair racing. It was all fair game. And I mean, there was a couple of close calls. I got one more time. I've said it to Andy in private and said it to Paul in private, but I want to apologize to those guys. That was a couple of really crazy moves. Like Paul said, That made for some damn good TV. I hope everybody out there liked it. To quote Kyle Busch, if you don't like racing like that, don't watch. That was awesome. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I cut across Paul's nose, and I was gonna spin it before I before I thought he was gonna have a chance to hit me. I couldn't get it to loop, which is probably a good thing, because I'd have probably taken us both out. But yeah, I mean, that was a killer race, and I don't know how don't know how we got it done. I had nothing for Andy on that last stretch. Thankfully, hit, and yeah, came out on top.
Well, that I think that covered all three of the questions that I had. Matt, what do you got after that?
Oh man, congratulations, dude. I mean, 2 wins in a row here. Obviously going back to points paying races. Man, you've set yourself up for a really nice spot here in the second half of the season. What are the goals from here? Top 3s, top 5s, try to nab another win here. What are we looking at?
Honestly, next week going to Homestead, probably my worst track, honestly. I don't even know what's after Homestead, but just keep it going. Try to finish ahead of Andy and Nathan if I can, but just keep running clean and keep not putting the truck in too bad of spots. I did a couple times tonight and got away with it, honestly. So we're in a pretty good spot. I talked about it last week. Last week was a very emotional win for me. And I've explained it to a lot of the guys in the league, and a lot of the guys in the league know why, but very emotional win. And so now we're just on a roll. We'll just keep it going. I want to run as well as I can next week, and then just keep it going, go into some tracks. I know Bristol's on there. I know Dover's on there. So just go try and win some more, keep adding to the total, and see where it all shakes out when we get to Charlotte.
All righty. Well, that's some good goals for you, partner. I think you can pull it off here for sure. Shout outs for you here tonight.
I got to shout out my girlfriend. I got pretty heated a couple times tonight, and she scared her a little bit. So shout out to her. She's awesome. She's working on a presentation for grad school right now. I'm super proud of her. She's busting her ass, and couldn't be more proud, and I'm super happy she lets me do this and be loud and stuff. Shout out my mom and dad. I don't know if they're watching, but I know they come back and watch these things, and I usually make my mom cry when I shout her out, even though I've been doing it a lot lately.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I think we lost him.
Well, that had that
Me?
one. Yep.
Oh, there it is.
I think you're back now. Yep.
Oh, okay. Shout out. My mom and dad, I don't know if they heard it. Shout out the whole team, Garrett, Paul, Nathan. We all had a lot of fun. We were all door to door a lot tonight, and it was awesome. Shout out Luke and Eric, and Carson wasn't here. Brandon Byers is never here anymore because he's a wimp, but he won't hear that, so it don't matter. Shout out the whole league. Kind of got some stuff going down in Discord right now with somebody that I'm not too impressed with, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut because that's what a hero does.
Oh boy.
And yeah, shout out you guys. You guys are awesome. I talk about it every week. Shout out my YouTube channel, JK Gaming. We're running into a bit of trouble right now, trying to find some video editing software and photo editing software, but get some checks in here soon, and we'll be back up and rolling. But make sure to go subscribe. There's a lot of shorts of TikToks coming out, and gonna start dropping the league races to kill the time. So yeah.
Well, there you go. Shout outs to a lot of people, a lot of content coming out. Sounds like all things on the up and up here for All-State John K with career victory number 5, third on the season. I know we'll be talking to you again here soon. Hopefully again next week at Homestead. We'll have to see, but go party hard.
Oh yeah, I'm probably going to bed, but I appreciate you boys. We'll see you maybe tomorrow. Daredevils, who knows?
Well, you would, but Daredevil is off tomorrow.
Well, looks like I don't know.
We'll see you in Chicagoland in 2 weeks. So there we go.
You guys suck. I won't be home. I won't be home in 2 weeks. I don't think.
Come on. All right. Well,
hey man, I got stuff to do. So
well, we'll see you next Tuesday then.
Yeah, we'll see you boys. Have a good one.
All right.
Hey, can I just say something right now? My prediction for the news that Nathan Reynolds is trying to drop on us here.
Yeah.
I think Chevrolet's getting SVG. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
That's my prediction off of the news that we just heard.
I've heard some stuff. I've heard some interesting stuff. Maybe not in line with what Nathan Reynolds was alluding to, but that doesn't mean that can't happen either. So we'll see. Certainly a lot is going down in the NASCAR world. And a lot going down in the virtual world here tonight, as John Kay was alluding to as well. Maybe we'll have some more details on that next Tuesday. We'll have to see how everything shakes out here. But in terms of some upcoming events here on the channel, again, we are off tomorrow night with the Daredevil Series. They are back in action next Wednesday night at Chicagoland. But before then, Thursday, Maximum Velocity is at Homestead Miami Speedway. Monday night, Truck 200 is back for a recruitment race at Chicagoland. And then next Tuesday, we are back for the Calypso Bash at the beach at Homestead Miami Speedway. So 2 races at Homestead and 2 races at Chicagoland in the next 4 nights of streaming here. So I hope you like Homestead and Chicagoland because you're going to be seeing a lot of it on Turn 200 here. Anything else you want to say before we pack up shop here tonight, partner?
Well, we always have to shout out our commenters on the videos and our watchers here tonight. Had Mr. William Leach, Jacob Nagy, Ethan Hennigar, Lindsey G, Caitlin McLaughlin, Mac Farm, Jeremy McKenna's in here for a little bit. Greg Roberts just got blown up by a creeper about a couple hours ago. And Rebecca Missiswoda. We're all in the chat here tonight. So thank you, everybody, for watching the coverage here on Turn 200. We always appreciate it. And if you would, leave a like. And if you commented, you definitely are a subscriber. But if you're not, maybe think about that, too.
Alrighty, I agree with all that. That's about all we got for you. We hope to see you again in a couple of nights for Maximum Velocity at Homestead Miami Speedway. But until we meet again, for everybody here with the Venom Truck Series, for everybody with Turn 200, for the GOAT, Mr. Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook. We say so long from virtual Richmond Raceway, where John Kay gets it done again, 2nd in a row, 5th of his career.